Oh, you're on. It's showtime.
Hi.
Do you find those after dinner games between the generations exciting? Here's my favorite Monopoly. Monopoly on the truth. To play Monopoly on the truth, all you need to do is to think that your opinion is better than everyone else's, and you don't even need a playing board, okay? Well, actually, it's not okay. Because though Monopoly on the Truth is exciting and agitating and aggravating and. Stop!
Okay, Boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
Our guests are Sandra and Aleazia. Welcome aboard, gang. Now, the topic today, hi. The topic today is distraction caused by our unique personalities, ADHD. Now, I was diagnosed with ADHD when I turned 70 years old. And the doctor said that I had adjusted to it. I like doing 100 things at once. Sometimes my attention span isn't very long. I interrupt, just like when we started here, we were interrupting each other. That's part of the fun of ADHD. But how are you guys handling your ADHD? You're in your 20s, it looks like. We didn't have a diagnosis when I was a kid. I was just difficult to deal with. Now you have a diagnosis. How are you handling it?
Well, that's a very interesting question. Let's see if we can dive a little bit more into this question. So, ADHD is actually on a whole spectrum of things. It's not just one little thing on the spectrum. So, you've got things that range all the way from, say, CPTSD, you've got bipolar type 2, you've got autism, Asperger's. There's all kinds of different things that's on this wonderful spectrum we have. It's not a disorder, in my opinion. I feel like it's been misphrased in the medical realm myself, but it is a tool that you can use and you can channel your energy with it. That's my personal opinion. And that's how I deal with my CPTSD, is what I identify with.
Okay, well, for me, I got diagnosed when I was 9 years old. I'm 23 now. So, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to handle it at that young age. But ADHD to me, I don't know, it's kind of like, a super secret talent, you should say. I do a lot of stuff all at once, at least I try to, yeah,
Multitasking.
exactly. I actually, help a mental health group at my college. We had class 4 days a week. And I could, tell them my experience, and I listen to their experience. That is seemed to teach me a lot, when it comes to topics, like this. I think I know a lot more than I did in my childhood years.
I think he's referencing that I have a BA in psychology. I graduated with a magna cum laude, and I have an honors thesis under my belt regarding in-cloud cognition. So I have studied a bit at the University of Louisville. So with that little bit of a background and having my own personal experience, I've actually done some things in the community to help out and kind of change people's perspectives in a way. I've done like mental health speeches before. For example, over at Riot Cafe, I did a speech over there with a licensed psychologist from U of L, and we were the only two guest speakers that were there that night. So I was able to help talk about mind science and frequencies, something that changes your perspective about how you view your situation.
Yes, I was a dumbass radio and TV major who was on academic probation. Then I got
Oh,
on the dean's list. I have a bachelor's degree. I minored in psychology, and
see?
I had a neighbor who was a nuclear engineer, and he thinks the same thing as we do, and that is ADHD is just a different personality type. And I mean, in broadcasting, you have to juggle all this stuff around all the time, particularly if you're in news. You have to read a teleprompter. You have to take cues. There's a lot of things you have to do. And then I was also a pilot. I was a flight instructor. I taught people how to fly, and of course, you're juggling all that stuff together. So I think it's a certain type of personality. Plus, I have met several younger people here in Chattanooga who picked me out as ADHD. They're all ADHD. It's a hell of a conversation when you all get together. And the house looks like somebody picked it up and turned it upside down like so many other houses do. So my opinion is the same thing. Yeah, well, yeah, that's why I'm on the balcony. I mean, I can't mess up Signal Mountain.
That's
So
right.
you can see that. Yeah, but I really believe it is. They say it's on the autism spectrum, but which made me feel really good. But I think there's so many other things, and it's like a range of colors. Purple. Okay, there's various shades of purple. So I think the type of thinking people use is like the colors. There are various shades, and then you get into abnormal behavior where someone is doing something that they are not aware that they're doing that society would consider wrong, like shooting somebody, that type of thing.
Right.
But that's what I think of ADHD. So I agree with you on this. Now, are you a millennial or are you a Gen Z?
I am a millennial.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, that's nice. And you are?
I believe he was born 2003 to 2002.
Which would make him, I think, probably a Gen Z. But that's okay. Gen Z, Boomer, we're all the same. But so what have you seen that makes it difficult for you to deal with somebody who is not ADHD, someone who has an attention span more than 10 seconds?
So you mean
what kind of problems have you had with people like that?
So some of the
neurotypical person, boring.
Well,
a boring
I wouldn't
person.
say that. Neurotypical is just a category. But yeah, so with dealing with neurotypicals, it is challenging because of the way that they approach things. From one of my observations personally is when you are asked a question by a neurotypical, us as neurodivergents, as we are referred to as, is we honestly, authentically want to answer your question. But sometimes neurotypicals will just ask a question just so they can hear an answer the way they were expecting it, or they're looking for a way to be able to understand the situation, or the perspective is a little different than how we would interpret it. So it does become a little bit harder, for example, in the work environment. When you are asked to do something, you do that something. But whenever you continuously do those some things and you're still not promoted or something like that, you start questioning, am I doing something wrong? When in fact, you might not be. They just think in a different way.
Yes, I've had my share of problems. I ran a weather station and got an excellent rating from the National Weather Service, yet I was fired. And it had to do with personnel, but I did not think the way they did. I thought in terms of running this thing, a safe station so that airplanes coming in would have good weather observations so they'd know what to expect. And since I was a pilot, I thought that way, but there were other things involved that I didn't even consider. Now, that was about 25 years ago. I've learned since then. That's why I'm no longer in it. I work in an organization, but I'm pretty independent. I don't have to worry about it. Just a part-time job where I spend most of my time editing this. Okay, Boomer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, is there anything else you'd like to add to this?
Well, I also wanted to let Alizé know the story of how we met in the beginning anyway, because we actually met in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
You talk about me?
Of me and you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I was traveling membership consultant at the time for YMCAs and Snap Fitnesses across the nation. And I met Robert Rickman in Laverne, I believe it was, because we were going to a Snap Fitness there.
Lavergne.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we met each other over there, and he saw that I was pursuing kind of like a Hollywood life,
Like acting
acting,
and artists. Yeah.
artist, all the things, modeling,
Mm-hmm.
playing my flute, guitar, piano, doing all the things. So whenever I met Robert, he was telling me about his radio station in OK Boomer and this idea that he's had, and so we've been in touch for a long time. But I've noticed some of the things that get me caught up is like I'll lose my train of thought sometimes when I'm talking to Robert. That's one of the things that I've noticed myself. What about you, Robert?
Well, my problem is I got COVID, and I wasn't really sick. I felt a little malaise. I tested myself. Then I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Yes, you've got COVID." But then what happened when I was doing the radio program OK Boomer from Southern Illinois, that was rebroadcast in Nashville. I forgot I was on the air, and I went right here on W. What's the call letters? Oh, it's right there. DBX. And then near the end of one of the programs, this is during the summer, I had people saying, "Okay, Boomer, okay, Boomer, okay, Boomer." And I said, this has been, I forgot the name of the program, folks. So I had to record it. Then I went to see a counselor about my brain fog and amnesia, and I had problems buttoning buttons.
Oh,
And so I still have problems uh, forgetting things while I'm talking to someone. It was really, really bad about a year ago. Now it's improving slowly, but I think I have long COVID and it's affected my brain.
ah,
Uh, but with ADHD, all right, I'll tell you what happened to me one time when I was 18 years old. I
what
flew an
happened?
airplane from Carbondale, Illinois to Cape Girardeau, Missouri. It was about a 20-minute flight. I was a student pilot. I was solo. I landed at Cape Girardeau, took a test, got out of the testing facility, and looked around for the airplane. I forgot which one I had taken. Southern Illinois University has a fleet of airplanes, Cessna 150s, yellow, green, blue, and you take, depending upon what happens to be available, you take it. I forgot which one I had taken. So there's a bunch of SIU planes there, and I'm walking around looking into the cockpits for my paperwork. And a security car guard comes up and says, "Can I help you, sir?" I said, "Yeah, I'm a pilot. I'm looking for my airplane." "What's the tail letters?" "I forget." "What color is it?" "I forget." So he
Oh,
escorted me very closely until I found the aircraft and found my license. That's there I am. And that was it. Now, I was 18,
mm,
and I still have problems parking in Walmart. I keep losing my car. So this hasn't changed any. And I think it's because of ADHD. You
it's
just
so
forget
funny
things that
you
are not
mentioned.
important. Airplanes? Who cares? I'll find it.
Right.
That's, yeah. So I still do it. And when you get to be my age, I'm 73, old as dust, you're going to do the same thing. You'll lose your car. You'll forget this. You'll forget. It's fun, exciting. And then the more coffee you drink, the worse it gets.
Woo! It's actually funny that you mentioned the parking lot situation because I do the same thing. And I started taking care of myself at the age of 20. I had no parents or anything like that. And so I noticed whenever I would take myself to the grocery store, I would forget where I parked. And so now over time, I've conditioned myself to park in the same area of the parking lot every single time. So if anybody knows I'm going to the grocery store, they know where they could probably find my car because that's going to be where I park from now on because
Mm-hmm.
it's the fastest way for me to get home.
Is to find your car.
Just to find my
I
car.
do the same thing, yet I still can't find it. Oh, it's in this section near the W. Okay.
Yeah, I probably do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alizé might have some family members as well that are on the spectrum, and he said his
Okay.
godfather sometimes might do that
Yeah.
in the parking lot situations. What else have you noticed about family
It
members?
takes 5 minutes to find a hard.
Oh my goodness. Anything else about any of your other family members?
Well, my family background, some of us have ADHD, some of us have bipolar, some of us suffer from, depression. My nephew, he came how, he had on the spectrum of autism and had, and had ADHD as well. And long story short, he was recently in town to do something with me and stuff. And we
Mm-hmm.
talked about it and everything, so he had some questions and stuff. And I told him, I said, you're okay, just the way you are. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. And, like you have to say stuff that is appropriate with 2-year-old kid and stuff. And I told him that, that one, I don't want to get that one. I was like, sorry, I'm like, autism don't change the way you are. Just think of it as a secret superpower. It does. Like, cause not everybody, have that. It does. And that kind of makes him feel a lot better than anything. And he was like, maybe I will be a Superman when I grow up. And I said, why not?
Go for it, King.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, that pretty much wraps it up from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. And I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And this is OK Boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer.